Thanks for tuning in to The Real Deal Show, brought to you by eBodyboarding.com and Tribe Boards.
Hey everybody, Jay Reale back at you with The Real Deal Show once again, and I'm on location at a secret tropical destination that I'm sure no one can figure out where we are right now. And I am with one of Australia's #1 up-and-coming junior riders. This is a Jai Taylor. How you doing, Jai?
Good, thank you. Doing great.
Not to be confused with Jay Reale, Jai Taylor.
Yep.
They got that wrong a couple times. I heard him call you Jay.
That's okay.
I wasn't going to complain because, you know, my name's Jay and all that. So how you doing, man?
Doing great.
All right.
Sick to be here. It's like
stoked to be here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's where we are right now, beautiful location. And before we get to the reason why you're here, let's back up a little bit. So let's talk about where you're from. Tell me the name of the beach.
I'm from Prigian Beach in like Sunshine Coast, Queensland, Australia.
Okay,
yeah.
Got it. Have you been there all your life? You were born and raised in that area, or
no,
what?
I was born in Victoria.
Okay.
In Melbourne, and then I moved to Bali in 2016 for 6 months, and the weather was so good there that I just like couldn't go back home. So then we moved to Queensland. Yeah.
So you went back to Queensland to a place that has kind of similar weather to Bali.
Yeah.
But you lived in Bali 6 months. That's pretty neat. So before we get into that part, though, let's talk about your bodyboarding life. So growing up in Victoria, then you moved to Bali and then to Sunshine Coast? Is that how it went?
Yeah, that's how it went.
How old were you when you moved to Bali? Because that was 2016. That was 8 years ago.
Yeah, I would have been 8.
Which makes you how old now?
16.
16 years old. So you're 8 years old.
Yeah.
Moved to Bali. Is that with your family?
Yeah, with my family.
And that's because your dad was doing what?
He's working at B Bodyboarding. Yeah.
Pretty sick job for anyone who wants to make a living in the bodyboarding world, to work at Bali Bodyboarding, which is basically it's like a bodyboarding, I don't want to call it a clinic. It's like a school, a camp.
Yeah.
So people go there and they learn how to bodyboard. Tell us what Bali Bodyboarding is all about.
It's like you go there, like it can be for like people at all levels, like beginning and like people who are really advanced and good. But you go there, you get coaching with like Ryan and Grant, and you basically go around Bali going to all the best waves that in Bali, and
sounds terrible.
It's so good.
Well, no, you were 8 though. Were you bodyboarding at that point?
Yeah, I reckon that's like where I fully got into it.
But had you started in Victoria before you came over to Bali?
I started in Victoria before I came to Bali, but probably I fully got into it when I moved to Bali.
I guess
the water's just so warm.
Yeah, the warm water, and you have the best coaches in the world there to help you out. And your dad was one of the coaches, is that right?
Yeah.
He was working there as well. So pretty sweet gig. Did you like living over there, or do you remember much of it? It was half a lifetime ago.
I loved it.
You loved it?
Yeah, I want to go back again.
Really?
I went back last year, like November, and I did a week with Bali Bodyboarding. Like, did one of the camps with them, like coaching and stuff, and that was so good.
You learned a lot?
So much, yeah.
Ryan Hardy giving you like insider tips and stuff?
Well, I was actually like helping out with them, like coaching.
Oh, you were coaching?
Well, I was sort of coaching.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So that's sweet. So, okay, so you lived there for 6 months.
Yeah.
And then you moved to Sunny Coast.
Yeah.
And did you just full on get all into bodyboarding at that point, or were you doing other sports or activities as well?
No, I was just full into it.
Never played like soccer or footy?
I played AFL.
Okay,
That's
AFL.
like Australian
football.
Yeah. Then I stopped playing and just like focused heaps on my bodyboarding.
Yeah, so you started competing at that point?
Yeah, I started competing, like doing all the local comps and then state titles. made the States and then started competing on nationals.
And you won the nationals?
Yeah, I won nationals under 16s, and then last year I won under 18s.
Where was that?
At Port Macquarie.
There you go. Vicky,
Yeah.
my wife's hometown. Port Macquarie. Was that at Town Beach or Lighthouse or?
It was at Lighthouse.
Lighthouse Beach.
Yeah.
One of my favorite places in the world. So you won the Aussie titles
Yeah.
at Port Macquarie, and then were you bodyboarding? Did you have a group of friends you used to ride with a lot up in Sunny
There's-
Coast? Or were
there's
you in
a-
a club?
Yeah, there's a club. We got the Sunshine Coast Bodyboard Club,
Yep,
and they have like heaps of local comps there.
yep.
So there's quite a few guys. It's not too many, but you know, it's a good little environment.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Real competitive. You guys push each other
Oh
and stuff.
yeah, it's super competitive. Yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
So at some point, you had to make the decision, you know, okay, I've reached the pinnacle of Australian bodyboarding. I won the national titles.
Yeah.
What's next? And then how did that thought process go and lead you to the IBC?
Well, Australian titles was on, like when the comp was on here in the Maldives, so I had to make the decision of like what I want to do, if I want to come here or stay at home and do another Australian title. But I decided like I've already won
You've already
two,
done that.
so like the highest I can go is to come here,
Yes.
and I can't be more happy with my decision.
Well, we'll get to that in a minute, but who were the people that you knew were going to be your main contenders before you came here?
I've seen like Jorge competing. I seen him compete last year, and he was like really good. Like all the guys, I knew the competition was like super high here,
Yeah.
so I knew I had to give it my all.
Yep.
And
And it worked
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
So
it worked.
that we're all alluding to the fact, and you can probably guess, that he won the 2024 Visit Maldives Pro in the juniors division, which is an amazing accomplishment. As he said, there's so many really excellent junior riders from all over the world competing, and Jai rose to the top of the heap there in this event. He had a great final. Actually, every heat was great, but you made it to the final, won the final against Michele Arriagada from Chile. And, you know, I have to ask you, what do you think it was about your performance that won it for you? Now that you've had a chance to kind of think about it.
yeah, I reckon like I knew he was like super dangerous. Like
Yeah.
I just like wanted to come out of the gates with like a few scores, just, like get on the board quickly, like to put the pressure on him.
Yep.
And then it was like a big lull through the heat kind of thing. So it was like not many waves were ridden for like 10 minutes or so. And I had the lead for that amount of time with priority. And yeah, coming to the end of the heat, there was a couple waves, and I got like the opportunity to do some inverts.
Yep. Which we
And-
haven't seen a lot of in this event. So it was nice change.
Yeah, and then I knew he needed like at some point in the heat, he needed like a 4 or something to beat me. So I knew I had to like do something good to up that score, bit up on my score. And then I was lucky enough to get that way where I got the invert.
Yep.
And then got an 8 for that, and then
And the rest, as
Yeah.
they say, is history. And
Yeah.
you took the win.
Yeah.
So that was a big deal, man. This is your first IBC event. Will it be your last IBC event?
Definitely
I
not.
should know the answer to that. Yeah. So obviously on the junior side of the coin with the IBC, they're required to do 2 events to get a ranking at the end of the season. You've done this one, you've got first place. So conceivably, if you went to the final event, which is required for the juniors to get that ranking, the Fronton King, you could be world champ. if you did well at Fronton. Are you thinking about going to that event?
Oh, I'm definitely gonna go to Fronton. Like,
okay. So you're gonna beg, borrow, and steal whatever it takes to get there?
Yeah, definitely. I spoke to like some of the boys last night, and they were like, "Yeah, you should definitely come." Like,
yeah.
And that kind of sealed the deal. I was like, "Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go."
So my question is, when you decided to come here, some of your friends or people that you work with, your sponsors, what did they think of that? Because there's a lot of mixed feelings about the IBC. Some people think it's not worthy or worthwhile to do, and some think, yeah, that's the best of the best. So did you have a mixed reaction from different people, or did everybody just say, go for it, Jai?
I'd say most people just were pretty supportive and just told me to go for it.
Yeah,
like,
to charge it.
Yeah.
Good for you, man.
Yeah.
I love it. So when you go back, what's the plan? You're still in school right now.
Yeah,
right?
I'm still in school. I just go back home, save a bit of money, and then go to Fronton.
And you're in what year in school?
11.
So that's 11th grade if you're talking United States English. Year 11 in Australia. So you're going to go year 12 and finish up?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll finish. I'll try and finish.
Try and finish. Uh-oh. Yeah. That's not good. You got to finish, man.
I'll finish.
Okay, so yesterday I said, so you're in year 11, and he goes, yeah, I just want to get it over with.
Yeah.
And travel. And I said, awesome, man. That's a great goal to have. I love it. And that's, that's what every bodyboarder, I think, wants to do, is travel and surf exotic places like Maldives. While you were here in Maldives, were you able to get off this island, Male, and go to any other spots?
Yeah, I went off the island, like, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, but I went off the island and got to see some of the waves. It was pretty small, like, there wasn't much swell, but it was so good to,
just to get off the island.
Yeah, get off the island, go out and have a look around.
You went to Toulouse, I think, which is where Coke's is,
right?
Yeah. And how do you find the food in this place? It's pretty wild, right?
Yeah.
Everything's pretty wild around,
everything's pretty wild
like
here.
Motorbikes everywhere, and traffic and cars.
The food is like hard to find, something, good to eat.
Yeah.
But I was basically just like living off my breakfast in the hotel.
There is a Burger King.
I did go to the Burger King.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hungry Jack's if you're in Australia, by the
Hungry
way.
Jack's.
You gotta hit that up, man.
But it was still just like a pretty cool experience.
Yeah, well, that's good. It's a cultural experience, and at 16 years old, not many kids your age get that opportunity. So it's great that you took advantage of it. And did you connect with any of the other junior riders well? Like, you become friends with some of these guys?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I met Drake over here, and he was super cool. Like, sick guy, super good. It's good style. He's good surf.
Yep.
And then all the other guys, like from Canary Islands, and like, what's his name? The one I was in the final with.
Yeah, Michele.
Yeah, and Ethan. Ethan, like, just everyone's super nice.
Yeah, hard with the language barrier. I know, because you have to speak slowly and clearly.
But the English is still, like, pretty good. Yeah.
So now you're going to have to up your game in Spanish, Portuguese, French. That's the other part of traveling. You're going to learn other languages, which is killer to me. Let me ask you your influences for bodyboarding growing up. Were there any top guys that you looked up to?
Ryan.
Yep, Ryan Hardy. Yep.
Yeah. Recently I've been like, well, I've always loved Mitch and like his style and stuff, but recently I've been like really watching and taking notes of what he does, because
for sure.
Yeah, everything he does is so perfect.
Yeah. Does he still live up on the Gold Coast?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he does.
Okay. Yeah, there's so many good riders up in that area. One of my favorite drop knee guys of all time is Matt Lackey, who's a lifeguard on the Gold Coast, and just unbelievable drop knee rider. So, well, that's cool. You have some good guys to look up to as your bodyboarding influences for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so last question for you, because I can tell you love being interviewed. This is so much fun, right? No, I'm just kidding. So my last question for you is, where do you see yourself 10 years from now, 26 years old? What would you like to be doing?
I like to be still competing. Like, I'll be in the Opens then, and I don't know, a world title would be sick to have.
Yeah.
So I reckon still like competing, traveling around.
Yes.
Yeah.
Living the dream, as we say, LTD.
Yeah.
Look at that, man. It's possible. I'm 60 and I'm still living the dream, baby. That's the whole idea, man. Just keep the train rolling. Work hard, play hard. I told you that earlier. So last chance to give out some shout outs, some thoughts, anyone you want to thank, sponsors, family, friends.
Yep, my sponsors, NMD, Inverted, Sunzapper, mum and dad, and Nan coming with me. Here
she's off camera, by the way, over here. You can duck in here and get your, no! She's camera shy. Grant, here she is. Here's Nan. She's here supporting him, showing him around. She's a Sunshine Coast legend.
Legend.
Yeah, she's getting ready to do the Noosa Triathlon yet again. But this is all about him, not you. Sorry. Your support crew. Your support crew. So, folks, that is Jai Taylor from Perigian Beach. Did I say it right?
Yep, is that right?
Thanks for sitting down with me and having a chat. You're going to hear a lot more from this guy, folks. So I just wanted to tell you thanks for watching this episode of The Real Deal Show. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and give us a thumbs up if you like the content that we put out. If you listened on the audio podcast, hope that got you through your drive, workout, or whatever else you do while you listen to audio podcasts. And tune in next time, folks, and we'll see you in the surf.